From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
Well, good Wednesday afternoon. Taylor Plott here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with your latest forecast. Things are fantastic today and for the next couple of days, but we do have some changes coming up, and that's that stormy weather potential that we have over this weekend. I'll have more on that. But first, let's take a look at what's going on outside right now from our Arctic Air Skycam network. We're seeing a few clouds around. The majority of the clouds right now are generally off to our south. That's going to be along with that cold front that moved on through that didn't give us any weather, or really stormy activity, but it is giving some rain and storms off to our south. So the bulk of the cloud cover you see off in the distance is related to that. But all in all, looking at fantastic conditions today across the entirety of the area. Live right now in Lawrenceburg, temperature is 63. We got a wind out there. There's no direction for some reason, but it should be coming out of the north-northwest. That's generally where the winds will be coming out of today. That's about 5 miles per hour. Notice that dew point still at 36 degrees, so still a dry air mass in place today, and that will be the case for the next couple of days as well. Live in Florence from the campus of the University of North Alabama, wind there is out of the southeast at about 60 or at about 4 miles per hour. The temperature is at 67. That's what I was trying to get at. And the dew point down there also in the 30s. So again, that dry air mass still situated across the entirety of the area. Everybody across the area is situated in those 60s to around 70 degrees right now, but everybody will be warming up into the upper 60s and lower 70s today. Currently 64 in Pulaski, 66 in Moulton, 70 now in Iuka, 65 in Huntsville, 61 degrees up there in Columbia. The further north you go across the area, the lower the temperatures will be today, but still getting up into those mid and upper 60s. Here's that cloud cover I was mentioning on the radar satellite composite. That's with that little system that's moving off to our south that gave some pretty good storms over in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex last night. But we have high pressure moving on in from the northwest, and that's giving us that slightly cooler air mass today. That's going to be keeping our conditions dry for the next several days. Your high temperatures today, like I mentioned, getting up into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Should be right around 72 in the Shoals today, 68 here in Lawrenceburg, 68 in Columbia, 72 over there in Savannah and Iuka. Winds will be a little bit breezy at times, but it's not going to be as gusty as what we saw yesterday. Take a look at your temperature trend over the next several hours this afternoon. Again, topping off in the 70s for a good chunk of the area. And then once we get into the evening hours, you'll see those temperatures dip back down into the 60s, eventually down to the 50s. So if you have any of those evening plans, you'll need that light jacket on hand once again. But this afternoon, looking absolutely fantastic. We'll dip back down to the 40s later on tonight, and that will lead to those morning lows tomorrow, starting off in the low and mid 40s. So a little bit of a chill out there once again, so you need that jacket on hand this morning if you're making your way on off to work early on or to the bus stop as well. Lows tonight dropping down to 43 in Pulaski, 44 in Athens, 45 in the Shoals, and 44 here in Lawrenceburg. What about some fishing? Outdoor activities, you want to go fishing out there? Temperatures, everything's looking fantastic for the next few days. Thursday is probably going to be your best day. Friday should be pretty good as well. Temperatures getting up into the lower 70s, but we do introduce the chance at a few pop-up showers. So just keep that in mind if you are out there boating, going on into the Tennessee River or lake nearby area. Just keep that in mind that you might have to dodge a few showers, but I don't think it's going to be stormy out there. The other thing that is going to be very hard to dodge is the allergies. It's almost basically impossible to dodge out here. Here's your Tennessee Valley Allergy Services forecast for the next 4 days, and yep, no relief in sight. High on the pollen count for the next several days. Saturday's up to the extreme. I don't think it's going to get to that point because we're going to have some showers and storms to deal with on Saturday. That should lessen the amount of pollen that's flying around in the air, like what we'll be seeing for the next couple of days. All right, let's get to those rain chances. We'll start off Thursday into Friday, and then we'll move into Saturday, and then we'll discuss what's coming up on Sunday. So Thursday, any shower activity should remain off to our west. We'll see those clouds start to increase across the area for sure. But once we get into Friday, you'll start to see a lot more cloud cover and then the chance of some of those spotty showers during the day on your Friday. But again, it's not going to be a complete washout. It's not going to be this stuff that's off to our west. It's just going to be this little spotty shower activity. That's going to be the best that we'll get on Friday. Saturday, it's a different story, though. We'll have a lot more southerly flow coming in from the Gulf and a little bit of a disturbance moving through that will kick off a good amount of showers and storms, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Now, I don't expect severe weather with this batch, but our concern for severe weather starts to move in on your Sunday. And here's the setup that we're going to be dealing with on your Sunday. Area low pressure off to our northwest. That blue line, those arrows here, that's your jet stream, so it's going to be moving overhead. The thing is, it's not going to be overly strong on the wind side. So in regards to the shear that we talk about with these severe weather setups, the shear's there, but it's not overly strong. It's not like what we saw a couple of Saturdays ago with that high risk across our area. This is not that type of setup. But what we will have is we will have that dip in the jet stream, that upper level support, and that shear in place, even though it's on the weaker side. But we will have a lot of moisture to work with. Dew points should be rising up into the middle 60s. That's going to make it feel muggy on your Sunday, and that also allows that instability to ramp up as well. Our main timing, though, that we're looking at is during the evening and overnight hours going into early Monday morning. This doesn't really look like it's a afternoon type of setup. I think there could be a few showers around on your Sunday afternoon, but I think the storm threat should kind of hold off until we get into the evening hours at the least. But the thing that we have to keep in mind is it's too soon to know what type of magnitude this threat is. We're still several days away, so we don't have that higher resolution guidance so we can see some of those finer details that either make or break a severe weather setup. So again, I can't tell you right now this is going to be, a big tornado day, if it's going to be a big damaging wind day, or we're going to be seeing a lot of hail out there. We don't know that magnitude, but all I can tell you is that we do have a risk that should transpire to some extent on your Sunday. We just don't know to what higher end extent that could be, whether we're just talking about a lower end threat or a little bit of a decent severe weather risk with this. But I'll tell you one thing, if you get our app, you'll be staying tuned with the latest on that for sure. So download it on your iOS or Android store, or you can quickly scan that QR code to download the latest app, and you'll get our latest information and forecast just like you're seeing right now. You'll get a notification when we are live with the latest updates, and that's what you need to do to just keep up to date with the weather situation, whether it's a beautiful sunny day or, like we're talking about, the chance of some storms coming in on your weekend. Here's your 7-day forecast. Again, the next couple days, even a few days, Friday's still looking pretty good. Again, that stray shower, it's really only about a 10% chance at this point if you're actually wanting to know a rain chance for your Friday. For your Saturday and Sunday, again, that's what we're watching for. A few storms on Saturday, not really severe potential on Saturday, but severe potential on Sunday. So keep checking back for the latest on that. Behind that system, we cool off just a tad on Monday, staying in the lower 70s, but then a little bit of a cooler shot coming in for your Tuesday. Temperatures should generally be in the middle 60s. That's a look at your latest forecast on this Wednesday afternoon. Fred Gossage will be in with his Live at 5. He'll give you another update on that storm potential coming up this weekend. Until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.